Good evening, and welcome to the Tewksbury Board of Select meeting of September 10th, 2024. We're going to open the meeting, and we're going to move right into executive session to discuss contracts. So can I have a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Mr. Kratman, seconded by Mr. Mackey. We're going to do a roll call vote. Ms. Wellman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Kratman?
Aye.
Mr. Mackey?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. We're now into executive session. We'll be coming back into regular session as soon as this executive session is completed. Good evening. Welcome to our regular session for the Board of Selectmen meeting for September 10th, 2024. Before we begin, can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First item on the agenda, Kyoto of Tewksbury, 7 o'clock, 1487 Main Street Entertainment License. Is there anybody here for that? Yes. You can introduce yourself for the record with name and address, so our recording secretary, and make sure that the other microphone is on there,
Yeah.
so our recording secretary can hear you.
Ben Chen from 61 Fraser Lane, Tewksbury.
And Jamie Cutlass for Kyoto and Ben Chen at 31 Ironwood in Tewksbury.
Okay, the floor is yours.
All right,
What is our intent here?
Mr. Chen is applying for an entertainment license. Excuse me. At his restaurant, he renovated. There was a food store next to him, and they kind of left, so he renovated that space to make it into a function hall, capacity of 60 seated and 92 people altogether. So he wants a license there for television, for music, indoor amplification, nothing outside. There were no tables or anything outside or anything like that. But he renovated the space, and he wants to have functions there like wedding shower, baby shower, retirement parties, things of that nature, business meetings maybe, comedy show here and there. But so we didn't know if the license would apply that he already had, so we put in this application to extend it to that function hall as well.
Okay, so he has the new plans and stuff submitted to the town?
Yes, yeah, the fire department approved everything. He has a certificate.
This is for the liquor license?
No, just entertainment.
Just entertainment?
Yes, yeah, just entertainment. He has a certificate of completion. He did a crowd management course approved by the state fire marshal, and also everything's been approved by the building department, the fire department, police department.
Okay, so you're not going to be serving alcohol in this?
No, he is, but I think his liquor license applied already to that space. He did. I didn't think he needed to, because it's connected to the restaurant.
It does?
It's one, yeah, there's
Same
a,
business, same section of the business.
Yeah,
Same restaurant, different room.
yeah.
I just thought you had to submit new plans for flooring and stuff like that, or what the design of the building is, where the bar is going to be, et cetera, when they submit their plans for their liquor license.
So this is only for entertainment, here for entertainment license? Not liquor?
Okay. Oh, so it is the same building that you used?
Same building, the same connected, and you can go back
okay.
and forth between, yeah.
All right, I have no other questions. Board members?
Mr. Chair, is this necessary or just a formality? I know he currently has an entertainment license under the existing Kyoto. Is this just an amendment to the license, or is this a new entertainment license?
Did you put a new application in?
I did put a new application in. I think this one was more expansive. It included more things, and so
I
that's
just
why we
wanted
had
to
do it.
clarify if we were just making a vote on an amendment or, no, I have no problem with it. I think, I've seen the room, it come out excellent. I wish you luck, and that was just a question whether it was an amendment or another entertainment license.
Mr. Mackey?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually have a question in a similar vein. I believe your existing entertainment license is more expansive. So I don't know that this is,
I added, Paula called me, she had a difficulty with the legal notice, and she had to submit a new legal notice that included all the other things. And so I looked at the packet today, and it had the old legal notice in, but the one in the paper actually included like 6 or 7 other things. It included
oh,
everything.
no, I'm trying to help you out. I'm saying,
yeah.
I think that this new application has less on it than the existing license that they have for entertainment. Like
Okay.
television, radio, all that additional stuff is not on this?
She amended it. If you look at the, she
And I
told
don't
me,
know that we have the correct one, because
Yeah, I
this
think-
only says indoor amplification.
right, that one is incorrect. The actual one, if you look in your packet, the one she put in the paper, she changed it to include everything. It's hard to see, it's small, but
In the legal ad, James, it does say television, radio, jukebox.
So I saw that, but that's not on the application, and I know it is on their existing entertainment license. The entertainment license they have now does have that information on it.
Covers all that.
So I would want to basically amend our vote to include
What,
dancing, jukebox, live music, projection for business meetings, and then no outdoor amplification.
That's fine, yeah, that'd be fine.
Just to make sure that we have you covered, so there's no
Yeah, that'd be
confusion.
good. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because she did, when I went down there, I saw that, and I told her, and she changed this anyway, what we sent into the paper, so it did have everything in there.
Yeah, when everyone's done with their questions, I will just make that amendment, if everyone's okay with that.
Mr. Kratman?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds, we don't have a problem. It doesn't sound like across this board. But the thing is, it's just clarification. We'd hate to give you something for, you know, 2 licenses and then conflicting, you know?
Right.
So you have something that says, this, like, you're looking for, if it's all connected, and you're all connected with a liquor license, why would you have 2 entertainment licenses?
I think,
You know,
I think
so
the
it's
fire
like-
department told him he had to do it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, okay, that's what I'm just trying to figure out. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't want to have something that somebody comes in and says, the entertainment license of this, you're in violation of this one because you didn't have this one in this room, but it's all connected. It just, like,
I
does
know.
it cover the whole, are you looking to have this entertainment license cover both locations? So you have one entertainment
Yeah,
license
that
that
would
cover
be
both
preferable,
locations?
yeah, that would make it,
that's why I asked the question,
Yeah.
it's just amending the initial, because when you look at, as, you know, I
That would be
saw.
fine.
The motion
yeah.
I'm going to make is just to roll it all into one, because
roll it
I
all
think it
into
would
one.
be problematic to separate the two and have
that'd
one
be
liquor
fine,
license.
yeah. You
I think
couldn't
that's
do that on the computer, though, you couldn't on
Well,
the
I think
online.
we're all on the same page. I just want to make sure you're okay with it. That's all. But I want to, we don't want to make a vote and say we did something without you saying this is okay.
Right.
So, you want it for both locations, similar, the same license for both locations to cover the entertainment for both locations?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions.
I have none.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the entertainment license for Kyoto's Japanese Steakhouse at 1487 Main Street for recorded music, radio and television, recorded background dinner music, dancing by patrons, jukebox, live music, projector for business meetings, no outdoor amplification system, indoor only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Mackey, seconded by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. That's unanimous, 4-0 vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you, members. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is 705, Arrive Incorporate DBA Edible, 1721 Main Street, Unit 6, a common vicular's license.
How are you guys?
Okay, if you can come up, sit down, give your name and address for the record.
Yes, myself, Nikesh Patel, living at 69 School Street in Tewksbury.
Okay. You want to fill us in on what you're trying to do here? You were just applying for a common victualer's license. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this is this the edible arrangements?
Edible arrangement,
okay.
yes. So we are buying from the old owner, yeah.
Okay. Board members, any questions? Hearing none. What is the pleasure of the board? Oh, this is actually a public hearing, I think, isn't it?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Well, there's nobody in the audience here to speak
In
on
the
it.
audience to speak?
So can I have a second to close the public hearing? I have a motion made by Mr. Ryder, second by Mr. Mackey. All those in favor, signify by saying aye to close the public hearing. Okay, chair votes aye as well. That's unanimous, 4-0. Okay, on the application.
I'll make a motion to approve the common victular license under doing business DBA edible.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Ryder, second by Mr. Mackey. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Congratulations, a 4-0
Thank you.
vote.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too as well.
Next on the agenda is National Grid Verizon jointly owned pole petition, Shawshene Street. Mr. Montori.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If the board could continue this hearing until their next meeting at a time certain, that will give National Grid time to work out some details with the DPW. The DPW director finally got a chance to walk the area with National Grid. There are some concerns that that National Grid needs to address, and they've agreed to it, and they've asked to push the hearing off.
So you want to push it to the 24th?
Yes.
What's that?
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock. Can I have a motion to continue?
Motion to continue to 7:24 at 7 PM.
Okay, the motion made by Mr. Ryder, second by Mr. Mackey. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. All right, that's into this. Now we're into new business, or actually residents. Big crowd here tonight, I guess. Yeah. I don't see any residents. New business, Echo Auto LLC, change of name. If you can come up and introduce yourself for the record and tell us what you're trying to do here.
I'm Al Salas with Eco Auto, and we're on 623 Main Street. Our goal with this submission, we are currently going we're working with the planning board on our expansion project, and our business is expanding. Part of that, we had to change our business from an LLC to a corporation. So we are just wanting to continue to be above board and notify the board of our name change, and that would include changing our license. And that's what the application is for.
So right now, it's Echo Auto LLC?
Yes, and we're changing it as Eco Auto Inc., and we would, along with that, make sure that for the record, there's going to be a transition period, so we would need a DBA in the town as well. But this is for a license change to Inc.
This is for a name change on a license? Or
Yes.
just a name change?
Yep, from LLC to Inc. And a space.
That's the part I miss. I don't have the part that go into Inc.
Yeah, it
On
does.
the last one, so it's on their business certificate.
Yeah,
Okay.
under business portion.
Board members, any questions? No questions. What is the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to approve the name change for Eco Auto, Inc.
I have a motion made by Mr. Mackey,
I'll second that.
second by Mr. Kratman. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Congrats. Good luck with the expansion.
Thank you.
Next is approval for easement located at 1023 and 1029 East Street.
Mr. Chairman, this easement was brought to town meeting and approved by town meeting, authorizing the board to accept the easement for a sidewalk at 1023 and 1029 East Street. Counsel for the property owner has drafted the easement. It's been reviewed by town council and signed off by town council. If the board is in agreement, you can approve the easement and authorize me to sign the document.
Any questions, board members?
I have one question. The sidewalk, does it say, I was looking through this, does it say, is it something that got approved by is this something that's been reviewed by the planning board?
I sat on the board at the time that this was approved.
Okay,
and
I just want to, and the sidewalks are going to meet our, like, requirements? Is this going to be like granite curbing?
It was granite curbing with bituminous asphalt as the sidewalk material itself.
Okay, I just wanted, if we're going to grant an easement and change, I just want to make sure that it meets the same, or whatever, or better, of what's going out there, and they didn't have anything on there. Nothing in this agreement that states what it shall be made of.
No, that was in the original.
Something that was approved by the planning board?
It was in the planning board.
Okay. Hey, thank you for the clarification. As long as it's been reviewed by the planning board and approved.
This was.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Hearing none, what is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to approval of the easement located at 1023, 1029 East Street as submitted,
And authorize me to sign it?
and authorize the town manager to sign it.
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Kratman, second by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next is Police Chief Contract. Mr. Montori.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we discussed in executive session, the police chief is seeking a contract for 3 years. This is something that is common in most communities in the Commonwealth. The contract has similar benefits to what both the patrolmen and the superior officers union receive, and their benefits that the police chief has been receiving since his appointment as chief for the town. The contract was drafted by town council. The language in the contract is standard to what we see in other police chief contracts. There's really nothing unique. It provides job security and protection for the chief, and his pay would be at the top step of the non-union pay scale, which is what he's at now. He would receive the 1% post certification pay that the patrol and superior officers receive in the first year, 1% in the second year, and 2% in the third year. And an additional personal day was added to his benefits in the contract, again, similar to other employees in the town. The chief's contract for fiscal 2025, which is the current year, with all the benefits totaled, is approximately $206,000. There was one holiday added similar to the other employees, which is Juneteenth. And that is it.
Any question, board members? Mr. Kratman?
No.
Mr. Mackey?
Questions?
Mr. Ryder?
That's it, Mr. Chair.
Chair has none. So you need a
Just if you could,
approve?
motion to ratify the contract, and I'll sign it.
I make a motion to ratify the police chief's contract.
Second.
Okay, motion is made by Mr. Kratman, second by Mr. Mackey. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. That's a 4-0 vote. Now we're on to firefighters' contract.
The firefighters' contract has been ratified by the fire department's union, the firefighters' union. The highlights.
Before you go on, I'm sorry, we skipped over the patrolman's union.
Yeah.
Did I?
So what do we got?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That
was my fault.
That's okay.
All right, through the patrolman.
Okay.
The patrolman union contract was ratified by the patrol union. The highlights, we have a variety of language changes in the contract, but I'm going to give you the highlights of the financials. The cost of living increase for the patrolman is 2.5% per year for the next 3 years. They will receive a post-certification amount of 1% in the first year, 1% in the second year, and 2% in the third year. They will receive an additional holiday, which is Juneteenth. They'll receive an additional personal day, moving from 2 personal days a year to 3 personal days per year. There was a change in the specialty pays to allow for other specialists in the department to receive $1,000 specialty pay. Right now, detectives are the only ones that receive specialty pay at $1,000 per year. Now included in specialty rates is family service officer, cruiser maintenance officer, school resource officers, as designated by the police chief. And those who are instructors in the department will also receive $1,000 specialty pay, but it's capped at $2,000 per person. So if you teach more than one course and you're one of the specialties, you're still capped at $2,000 per year. Again, there's some language changes, none of them that had any real monetary impact, and the cost of the contract in the first year is $166,237. Second year is $141,830. And third year is projected to be $189,524, for a total over the 3 years of $497,591.
Any questions from board members? Mr. Mackey?
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Kratman?
I have no questions.
Mr. Ryder?
No question.
And the chair has no questions. What is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to ratify the police patrolman's contract and allow Mr. Montori to sign it.
Second.
A motion made by Mr. Kratman, second by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. That's unanimous, 4-0 vote. We are on to the firefighters union contract. Mr. Montori.
Firefighters contract, again, has been ratified by the Tewksbury, Massachusetts firefighters. It is a 3-year contract. The changes and the highlights are we moved up their vacation from 5 weeks after 20 years to 5 weeks after 15 years. We now will add their longevity and their base pay together when we're counting their base pay plus their education pay to determine their longevity percentage. When determining that longevity percentage, this is something that the police have had for quite some time, and now we're doing it for the fire. We are providing a COLA of 2.5% in the first year, 2.5% in the second year, and 2.5% in the third year. We're increasing EMT pay 0.5% in the first year, 0.5% in the second year, and 1% in the third year. We are adding a second EMT coordinator specialist to the department, which is a specialty pay within the department for the firefighter that's designated by the chief. We're increasing the Massachusetts Fire Academy training hours that firefighters get paid on a voluntary basis if they take courses at the academy. Right now, they get paid up to 20 hours of their hourly rate. We're increasing that to 25 hours. And they also are getting an additional holiday, which is Juneteenth, and an additional personal day was added. So they went from 2 to 3. The first year of their contract will be $221,014. The second year is estimated to be $169,358. The third year, $187,006, for a total 3-year amount of $577,378. Both the fire department contract and police contract have funding articles on the special town meeting warrant for the first year of the contract.
All right, thank you, Mr. Montori. Board members, any questions? Hearing none, what is the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to ratify the contract for the firefighters union and authorize Mr. Montori to sign.
I'll
Okay,
second that.
We have a motion made by Mr. Mackey, seconded by Mr. Kratman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. That's another 4-0 vote. Thank you, Mr. Montori.
Thank you.
Okay, we're up to Historic Commission resignation. Mr. Montori.
So the board received a resignation from Mr. Bill Wyatt. He was recently appointed, but after, reviewing his schedule, and he just felt that he wasn't going to be able to put the time in, so he is resigning from the commission. This is kind of a twofold, tying into the next item on the agenda. At the time Mr. Wyatt was appointed, we did have an applicant, Matthew Ducey, that was someone that the commission, other commission members would hope to get appointed in the future. since Mr. Wyatt has resigned, there is an opening, and I'd recommend that Mr. Ducey be appointed.
Okay, what is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Mr. Bill Wyatt. That's the first thing.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Kratman, second by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
And I will make a second motion to appoint Mr. Matthew J. Ducey to the Historic Commission.
I have a motion made by Mr. Kratman, second by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. All right. All right. Trahan reuse schedule interviews. This is something we talked about earlier. Is everybody available next Tuesday at 6 o'clock? This is, everybody should have received their little booklets, binders with the information. We're also going to include the Vernon Street project. Mr. Montori, were you able to get in touch with the Vernon Street people to make sure that
We
they're...
were getting in touch with them. They were originally scheduled for the board meeting on the 24th. We were going to move them up to next week. So now that I have a schedule, I'll inform everyone to see if they can be here on Tuesday.
Okay, so this is all we're going to discuss at this meeting, is just the housing.
If by some chance, Mr. Chairman, one of them cannot make on a Tuesday, do you want to put them on the 24th, if it's just one of them?
Yeah, if we have to.
Right now, it's a light agenda.
Right, but hopefully all three of them be there at one time. So with that being said, is everybody's available for next Tuesday at 6 o'clock? Yes. I think it's the 17th, not really sure what the date is.
It is the 17th.
The
yeah.
17th, okay. We'll move that to there. Unless you have something else involved with this, Mr. Montori, do you? Okay.
No, that's it.
All right,
Schedule
now
is-
we're down to short-term borrowing for the Center Elementary School. Mr. Montori.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last year, about this time, we had a bond issue, and included in that bond issue was $3.4 million for a short-term borrowing for the Center Elementary School. We always knew that at some point we would need to do one more long-term borrowing for the school, but we weren't going to do that until we understood exactly how much money we were going to receive from the MSBA and what the final costs of the project are. Right now, the MSBA is going through its final payments to the town and then the final audit, so we're still not exactly sure how much we will receive. We should know in the next couple of months. The project is complete. The project was within budget. The $3.4 million mostly is outstanding from the MSBA. There'll probably be some amount that we'll have to long-term borrow, but we didn't want to borrow the $3.4 million because we knew that would be too much, and we didn't want to add that to our debt and pay interest on it. We hope that by the time we're done, a good chunk of that, $2 million of it, if not more, is reduced. So in the meantime, we've rolled over the short-term borrowing of $3.5 million for another 6 months. That'll give us time to close out the project, close out the MSBA project, and only borrow what we need to borrow when we go out long-term borrowing sometime January, February timeframe. The interest rate on this new borrowing is approximately 3.4%. It'll probably carry an interest payment of around $70,000. The previous one that we just rolled over had an interest of about $140,000, which will appropriate that money at special town meeting to pay that in October. So this is simply just rolling this over until we get our final costs.
Board members, any questions? Mr. Kratman?
I have none.
Mr. Mackey?
No questions.
Mr. Ryder?
No questions, Mr. Chair.
And I think I'm all set. I think this is reasonable.
Mr. Chairman, you just need to read that
Oh, yeah.
document into the record as the motion for the board, and then we need to sign the documents once we're done.
Okay. We, the undersigned members of the the Select Board of the Town of Tewksbury, Massachusetts hereby certify the following as a true copy of excerpts from the minutes of the special meeting of said board duly called, held September 10th, 2024, at 7 p.m. As further described in this notice of meeting attached as Exhibit A, hereunto incorporated herein by reference the meeting, and pursuant to the due and proper notice, date, time, and place and purpose of the meeting given to each select board member. The meeting was attended by 4 of the 5 members of the select board, constituting a quorum and voting throughout, and the following vote was duly adopted by a vote of,
Whatever the board ends up voting, I'll plug that in.
okay. The meeting is considered the $3,577,818 general obligation bond anticipation notes to be issued by the town. The town treasurer reminded the meeting that it has been decided that the note should be advertised for sale by circulating to leading investment bankers and banks in New England, New York, and other financial centers. That it has been decided that the note should be sold to Oppenheimer and Company Incorporated. She reported that she had so advertised the notes for sale, distributing by preliminary official statement the notice of sale dated August 27, 2024, and the official statement dated September 4, 2024, prepared all in accordance to SEC Rule 15C2-12. The following were all the bids received for the purchase of said notes, each bid including interest accrued to the delivery, and namely, Oppenheimer and Company, bidder, Oppenheimer and Company Incorporated, par amount $3,577,818, net interest cost $3.408000, trustees security $3,577,818. Net interest cost is 3.468. Thereupon, after full discussion upon the motion duly made and seconded, it was voted that under pursuant to...
Can we have a motion? Can you make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
And then you're going to read it, and then afterwards someone second it. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Voted that under the pursuant to Chapter 44, Section 7(1), the Chapter 70B of the general laws and other enabling authority, they are hereby authorize the issue of the sale of $3,577,818 general obligation bond anticipation notes, the notes of the town for the purpose of current refunding of the town's $3,577,818 general obligation bond notes dated September 22nd, 2023, equipping a new elementary school and athletic field complex to be located at 135 Pleasant Street in the town as described on Exhibit B, and financing cost issuance of the notes. That all the action taken by the town treasurer in advertising for public sale of notes of the town authorized under Chapter 44, Section 77(1), and Chapter 70B of the Massachusetts General Law as amended and supplemented, and by votes of the town duly adopted as further in Exhibit B, attached hereunto, by which reference thereto is hereby incorporated and made in part of the minutes of this meeting, and the vote, and this vote, excuse me, in that the connection preparing and distributing the preliminary official statement dated August 27th, 2024, and the final official statement dated September 4th, 2024, be hereby is ratified, confirmed, and approved and adopted. That the note shall be dated as of September 20th, 24, and shall be payable on March 20th, 2025. The note shall be in the denomination of $1,000 or integral multiples thereof, except for one principal amount of $1,818, and subject to the provisions in the vote in the note shall be in such a form as the treasurer and the majority of the select board have shall determine or approve by the execution of the notes. The notes shall originally be issued by means of book entry system evidencing ownership and transfer of the notes on the records of the depository trust company and its participants unless the issuance of fully registered notes certificate is requested by the winning bidder and approved by the town. And in event of failure or termination of the book entry system, U.S. Bank Trust Company, National Association, Boston, Massachusetts, shall issue replacement notes in form of fully registered certified and shall act as bond registrar, transfer agent, and paying agent thereof. The seal of the notes of Oppenheimer and Company Incorporated with a coupon of 4.25% at the price of $3,592,880.61, which is equal to the par amount of the notes plus reoffering premium of $22,003.58 minus the underwriter's discount of $6,940.97 and resulting in a net interest rate cost rate of 3.4080001%. And is a true interest cost rate of 3.3937125%, being the best bid received for the notes bearing interest at the lowest true interest cost is hereby accepted, and the town treasurer be and hereby authorized to deliver the notes to the aforesaid purchaser in order against payment thereof. That the treasurer be and hereby is authorized to execute and deliver a significant events disclosure certificate generally as described in the official statement related to the notes and to incorporate by reference thereto in the notes such certificates both in such forms as signatory may approve by their execution thereof and the obligation of the town contained in such significant events disclosure certificate is hereby approved and confirmed. That note is to be issued pursuant to this vote may be secured by insurance or by letter of lines of credit and other credit facilities in accordance with the provision of Chapter 44, Section 22C of the general laws as the treasurer or finance director as appropriate shall determine, and the select board, the treasurer, and the town clerk be and hereby are, and each of them severally is authorized to contract and purchase, if necessary, any policy of municipal bond insurance with respect to the notes, and each officer may take all such action and execute and deliver such certificate of receipts or other documents that may determine by them or any, another page, any of them to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing vote. We hereby certify that the foregoing is true. Copy of the vote adopted at the meeting as appearing in the minutes thereof. That meeting was open to the public. That notice stated the date, time, and place and purpose of the meeting was filed with the town clerk of the town of Tewksbury, and a copy thereof was posted at the town clerk's office or principal official bulletin board of the town at least 48 hours, including Saturdays but not Sundays, but legal holidays prior to the time of the meeting and remain posted at the time of the meeting. That no deliberations or decisions or connection with the vote were taken in executive session, and that the official record of the meeting was made available to the public promptly and will remain available to the public. All accordance with Chapter 39, Section 23B of the general laws as amended, the open meeting law. That's the motion, made by Mr. Holland, seconded by Mr. Mackey. We further hereby certify that 4 of the 5 members of the Board of Selectmen were present in voting throughout the meeting, and aforesaid vote has not in any respect amended or rescinded, but still remains in full force as the effective date hereof. So that's my motion. Mr. Mackey seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That was a mouthful.
There are a fair amount of documents for you to sign, including the one that the chairman has.
Okay. That one you gotta sign. All right, so we're done
Thank
with
you,
the
everyone.
short-term borrowing one, right? Okay, now we have a donation. Is a donation from Robert and Candy Ryan of 4 Davis Road, Tewksbury. And this donation, Mr. Montoya, was for the,
$200 to the veterans.
for the veterans?
Robin,
Yeah. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept with gratitude.
Okay. We have a motion made by Mr. Mackey, second by Mr. Ryder to accept the donation. Mr. Montori, could you make sure they get a letter? And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The chair votes aye as well. Okay. Town manager.
Mr. Chairman, I have 2 town council invoices. The first is from July 16th, 2024 to July 31st, 2024, in the amount of $3,527.50. I recommend approval.
So moved.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Mr. Kratman made the motion. Mr. Ryder, second? Yes. Just so our recording secretary can hear it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
And then a bill from August 1st, 2024 through August 15th, 2024, in the amount of $3,145, and I would recommend approval.
So moved.
Okay, a motion made by Mr. Kratman, second by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. That's 4-0 vote. Next up is Mr. Ryder.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of August 6th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Ryder to approve the minutes of August 6th and seconded by Mr. Mackey. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. That's a 4-0 vote. Okay, board member reports. We'll start up with Mr. Kratman. How's that sound?
All right, I got an LRTA meeting, but it's not to the end of the month on the 26th. The other thing I would like to talk about is tomorrow night is the 9/11 memorial ceremony. I invite everyone and the public to make sure they attend this. It's going to be taking place at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I want to thank the town, all the departments that stepped up and helped us put this together, getting the chairs and all the things together. I also would like to ask the board if they'd be willing to send a citation. Boy Scout Troop 49, and specifically Michael Casey, who's going for his Eagle Scout project. He's working on a project that's going to put a bench up there for one of the original founders of the 9/11 Memorial. So he's raising funds to do that. That's going to take place at another time. But also as part of his project, he got the scouts to go down last Saturday, and they cleaned and scrubbed all the names of the rocks of all the people that lost their lives on that day. And they spent the whole day Saturday scrubbing and cleaning to clean up the memorial on their own time. And I would like to see if the board would send a citation and appreciation to Boy Scout Troop 49.
I don't have a problem with that. Mr. Montoya, you can make that happen.
Definitely.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Mr. Mackey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Been busy past few weeks. We had an Economic Development Committee meeting and a school building long-range planning committee meeting, whatever the mouthful name of that committee is. And both are getting off to a strong start. More to follow on that at our next meeting. I believe we have meetings for both of those prior to our next meeting, so more to follow. And I would like to reiterate my request at our last meeting that we get on a future agenda for planning of the, how we're going to deal with this water issue. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Ryder.
I'll just to echo Mr. Mackey about the Economic Development Committee meeting and the school meeting, group meeting. I think we are off to a great start, and we have some paths paved to what direction we're moving forward. So just, again, echo Mr. Kratman looking forward to the event tomorrow evening and hope the residents can come down.
Okay, I just have one thing. I want to thank Mr. Kratman and Mr. Mackey for their cooking experience. You know, we did the Veterans barbecue down at the senior center, and it was well turned out, and you two guys worked very hard. Again, thank you. That's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Mackey, seconded by Mr. Ryder. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. That's unanimous, 4-0.